Hey, Scott Hilton, Scott Talks. Talking today about the Dan Brown's new novel with Robert Langdon. It's The Secret of Secrets. It's spoiler, it's very good. It's very good. I enjoyed it very much. He's aged the character a little bit because it's been a long time since the last novel. And he's 50 in this. And I checked with Alexi, and Tom Hanks is 60. I was like, okay, he can still make another movie. I checked the Internet Movie Database. It's not listed as a movie getting ready to get made because the last few didn't make as much money. But you could still, and they tried that TV show, let's see, we got the Robert Langdon series here. This is the 6th book in the series. And it wants me to go back and read them all because Dan Brown is just so damn good at telling these stories. The first was Angels and Demons. And we got that. That's book 1 of Robert Langdon's little saga. That was in 2004. Then the famous DaVinci Code. Yeah. The Lost Symbol. Inferno. And my cat's here. Hey, Nikki, what you doing? Crawling on Origin. Book 5. And, of course, Dan Brown's Secret of Secrets, released this year. All righty. It's read by Paul Mitchell. And Dan hasn't written that many books. I mean, he wrote the DaVinci stuff. He did Digital Fortress. He did, these are a couple German-based stories. He did about 1 or 2 other stories. Deception Point, a novel. He did that. And there's not much here. 8 books maybe. Easily catch up. If you're, like you love books or audiobooks, whatever. I'm a little dyslexic, so I always do audiobooks. And I've got a little kitty cat here. Hey, what's up? You want some attention? Say hello. Yeah. He loves attention, especially when I'm recording videos. That's always fun. Look at some of my streaming service videos when I'm in front of the TV. He'll make several guest appearances. Won't you, Nico? Yeah, Yeah, block the view. That's it. That's a good kitty. Oh, yeah, he knows the deal. Let's talk about The Secret of Secrets, and maybe Tom Hanks will do it, or maybe they'll turn it into another shot at a TV series. Peacock had the TV series. I think it was Lost Symbol was the series, and they had a different actor, of course. And they just did the whole book because when you get that's what they're doing with the Harry Potter stuff now. They're doing the entire books. So you get maybe a little rewrite here and there, but they're giving you more of a story because my daughter and wife had both read all the Harry Potters. And, when they come out of the theater, they love the movies, but they left this out and they changed this and they changed this and they did this and this. And I heard all about it. And I was like, oh. And now they're having those new cast recordings with Hugh Laurie is playing Dumbledore. And John Lithgow is Dumbledore on the new TV series. So they're doing new audiobook series where every few months they're going to release a book on audio with a whole cast. They're going to have younger kids reading in books 1 through 3, and then older kids reading books 4 and on. That way you can see the voice change, and they're a little more mature. At book 4, they're more mature. The stories are a little more serious, probably. So, and they've done that with all the kids. And the little girl that reads for 1 through 3 is the girl they cast as Hermione in the TV show too. I mean, she was that good. And we saw a clip of her on YouTube, and she sounded just like Hermione. So, hey, what can you say, right? But yeah, The Secret of Secrets. Here we are. Let's see what it has to say. Intriguing plot twist. Oh yeah, especially right near the end. There's another secret Dan Brown shoots at us and we're like, I was like, no spoiler. thought-provoking conceptions. Yes. What's the story about? Why is there this big mystery? What is the great secret of secrets that, can go beyond death, really? Yeah, it's like, oh, yeah. So excellent. Excellent narration by Paul Mitchell. Yes, he was very good. Brilliant protagonist. Yes. Very good. Historical details. They're in Prague, and you hear all about Prague and everything going on in Prague and all the details. I mean, the author really, he nails every little place to go and place and sculpture and details of real life Prague. That this is based on fact. So, and then the stuff in the book, he tells you in the beginning, is based on actual science research. So it has the possibility of being a possibility, which I like. Rollins does a good job with. He loves mixing science fiction, religion, science fact, and a little tweak of imagination and blending it all together in his Sigma Force stories. So I like that too. But Dan Brown, he's become one of my favorite authors. I mean, it took me about a month to finish it because I ride a bike and I only listen to podcasts and music on the bike. So I don't want to stay focused on a book. I have bone conducting headphones, and the wind will blow because I can't wear them in my ear. The pods, they're a little dangerous to be wearing them with the bike. You only want to wear one. A little fact for anyone getting a bike. You just wear one if they don't fall out. If you're the kind of person they stick in and they stay in, great. Or if you have the loop, great. But for me, it's bone conducting because I've got some hearing stuff and whatever. But the wind noise can cut out a lot of that sound. In a podcast, it's not too big a deal. You miss a little bit. But a book, you don't want to miss nothing. So I usually do yard work and do things like that. Can't mow the grass with it, but regular yard work and doing stuff around, I'll listen to the book. So it takes about a month. I'll get around to it and I'll do an hour or 30 minutes. I'll, whatever it takes. And usually almost every day. So I did it 22 hours and 50-minute book in a month. So I was like, good. I did good. And I found a new secret to doing it when the phone's getting low on juice. Like if I record these videos, they can get a little low on juice. So I'm using the iPod mini and another thing of bone conducting headphones that I had around, a cheap pair. I'm going to just set it up near the window where I'm working and it'll beam out and I'll catch it and I won't have to carry this around. And I can charge my phone. So there. So yes, brilliant historical details, tons of them, golly. The world's most celebrated thriller writer, I'm a little dyslexic, and author of the DaVinci Code returns with his most stunning novel yet. Propulsive, twisty, thought-provoking masterpiece that will entertain audiences as only Dan Brown can. Yes, I agree. Robert Langdon, esteemed professor of symbology, travels to Prague to attend a groundbreaking lecture by Catherine Solomon, girlfriend, a prominent noetic scientist with whom he has recently begun a relationship. Catherine is on the verge of publishing an explosive book that contains startling discoveries from the nature of human consciousness and threatens to disrupt centuries of established belief. Yes, but a brutal murder catapults the trip into chaos, and Catherine suddenly disappears along with her manuscript. Langdon finds himself targeted by a powerful organization and hunted by a chilling assailant sprung from Prague's most ancient mythology. True. As the plot expands into London and New York, Langdon desperately searches for Catherine and for answers in a thrilling race through the dual worlds of futuristic science and mythical lore. Sorry, dyslexic. This is why I listen to audiobooks. Reading is a little challenging for people with dyslexia depending on what degree you're at. If you watch Will Trent on ABC on Hulu, he has no reading skills. He can't write or read, but he's a detective and he's real smart, and he records himself so he can listen back to it. But his dyslexia really jams up things when he's trying to read things. And thrilling race through the dual worlds of futuristic science and mythical lore. He uncovers a shocking truth about a secret project that will forever change the way we think about the human mind. Yes, that's the way the book goes. And he keeps you dangling like a little carrot all through it. What is this going on? I mean, even Robert Langdon, his girlfriend, hasn't told him what's in the book and what's it about. She'll tease it and she'll hint at it, and they'll have a flashback where she talked to the publisher who publishes Robert's books, and the guy's just, another one of these, sleep books or whatever, conscious mind books, and she starts giving him all this scientific jargon about, well, what if this is true? What if that? Did you know? And there's some fascinating things in this book that are based on science. Nothing can go faster than the speed of light. Yet they say our universe technically is expanding faster than the speed of light. And then there are the thoughts processes of animals, like birds and fish that dart, all in schools. They just dart, and that's in the book. And they've measured how fast their minds are responding to the lead fish, and they're working all as one. And it's in the book, and it talks about it being so fast that it's happening. Their minds are working as one. They're responding to each other faster than the speed of light. And you're like, suck. So nothing's faster than the speed of light? Yeah, there might be a couple of things that are different that you need to look into. So that's based on fact, science fact. And that was such an interesting thing in the story when she was trying to explain it and impress the publisher. And the publisher's just like, he's impressed. This is just going to be another book. This has got something going on. Right, Nico? Right? You remember me listening to this book. You liked it. It was released September 9th, 2025, at least on Audible. And Random House Audio. And Random House has an appearance in the book. So, yes. This is great. And I think I'm going to do some more. I might go back and start over and start with his early works and then do his other Robert Langdon books. And it would be neat to watch the growth of Dan Brown. I mean, just 8 books to knock out, maybe knock one out every year or something. I'm not a super avid reader, not like some people. I know some people get Audible and they go, oh, I can't keep up. I have to get this different service because it offers me more books, or get 2 services or 3 services. And you can use Chirp and try to get a cheap deal. But I found cheap deals on Chirp, and then you look it up under Apple Books and it's $1 less because they got it on a deal too. Everyone's got deals. So Chirp's good to have. Audible's the king. It's got all the good books. If you can't find it on Chirp, Apple's probably going to have it too. But is it going to be full price? Apple, you're buying it. Audible, you get it on credit. Like I have 1 credit and I get this mammoth book that's worth 30, 40 bucks. Cool, I'll take it. Credit. And then but the credits also work for the books that are only 2 or 3 hours long. And you're like, I might as well just buy the book. What's it, $7, $8? And the credit is worth 12 to 15 or something, however you buy it. If you buy it through Audible on audible.com, might be cheaper because if you get it through Apple, the Apple tax kicks in and it's a little more. So you get a year's worth, you get 12 credits, you divide by 12, and you figure out how much this is really costing you. And then, so if you see a book less than that, you buy the book, or you put it on your wish list and wait it out. Just wait it out. They'll send you and put it on Chirp's wish list. And you can get it through Libby, through your library. Get a library card, just take up your driver's license, prove you live in the same area as your local library, and get a library card and use Libby. And Hoopla is pretty good for that too. You can get video on Hoopla. So you rent a movie or something. But and you just remember on Libby, you got to renew. They'll ask you, you want to renew this? Yeah, I'm still reading it. I'm still listening to it. So and do that. And you can get books from the library. You know that. Everyone knows that. But yeah, I highly recommend Secret of Secrets. I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, last year's big book for me was James. I was like, great, man, that's a good book. It was like the follow-up to Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. And it was perfect companion. I mean, it's like you do the Tom Sawyer books, basically Tom Sawyer's the biggie and Huckleberry Finn is the biggie. And after Huckleberry Finn, James flows into Huckleberry Finn because James is the slave Jim from Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer. So that's that. And that was excellent. That was just beyond excellent. So highly recommend it. But I recommend Secret of Secrets, absolutely. As thriller, yeah, just great book. Action, adventure, psychological suspense is what they put. 4.5 stars, 4.6 thousand reviews. I don't have a review. I'm not big on writing reviews. I could. I say it's great. That'd be it. That's what I'll put, But not a man of many words when it comes to writing. Just didn't. Dyslexic brain doesn't do well in English class, if you know what I mean. So like, share, and subscribe. Check out James. Check out The Secret of Secrets. If you're into thrillers, I've reviewed a few books online with Nico. Right, Nick? Huh? You want some attention? Yeah. And have a great day. Like, share, and subscribe. All right.